Good morning, everyone. I, Dr. Vandana Parekh, welcome you all to the Management Development Program organized at Lloyd Business School. Lloyd, since its inception in 2004, has been leaving its imprint on industry and academia alike. We are here committed to create skilled, highly trained, and employable professionals by offering courses which are astutely designed to meet industry standards. The LBS offers PhD programs in the field of human resource, supply chain, and business analytics, jointly with the industry leaders like the Manpower Group, Safe Educate, and IBM, respectively. LBS organizes MTP every month in varied areas of management. Currently, we are conducting MTP in the area of business analytics since last 2 months. And today's MDP is a sequel to our MDP program in business analytics. Now, let me introduce you to the today's resource person, Dr. Neha Eser. Dr. Eser is assistant professor at LBS handling database and query language, data science using R, management information system, and enterprise resource planning. She is a commerce graduate from Dr. B.R. Ambedkar University and holds a postgraduate diploma in finance and marketing. She has an experience of more than a decade in academics and industry. She has worked as a data researcher at S&P Global Market Intelligence Private Limited. She has also worked on projects at Aditya Birla Group, Times Internet in ET.com. She was a senior manager investor relations at Opera Gracia Private Limited. She is an IBM Spark and Scala certified professional. Welcome, ma'am. Now I am handing over the session to the ma'am to carry it forward. It's over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. And thank you to the management department for giving me this opportunity to discuss on the topic for today's MDP, that is SQL for data analytics. So before moving to the topic, I just want to talk about that the business today are moving from traditional based institution decision making to a data driven decision making. So therefore, use of SQL is no longer limited to the developers, programmers, even the business analysts, data analysts, market researchers, they also need to learn this language. So basically, I welcome all the participants who are from academics, who are scholars, some are students, and various participants, they have a different domain. So with my professional experience, as ma'am has introduced me, so according to that, I have carefully designed this particular MDP, keeping in mind the current and the upcoming demands of the industry. So this session will take you from the beginners to the advanced level of SQL. So moving ahead, I just want to quickly run through you the topics which we will be discussing in today's MDP. So as you can see in the next slide, that we will be start with covering the basics of SQL and the database. And next step will be how we can create a database. Create a database basically means that how you can how a business collects the data or how they store the data. So we have to learn some fundamental commands of SQL. So in order to manipulate, as you can see, few commands I have mentioned this particular PPT, the update, alter command, how you can change the data, how can you retrieve the data from the query. So in the next slide, you can see that most important part comes with the data is that the data should be in a sorted form, not in a raw form, because usually what happens when we retrieve a data by using a few fundamental commands, it will be in the raw format. So we have to make a data more processed. So for that, we will be learning how to filter and how to sort the data, and that can be comes up with the order by command, as you can see in this particular slide, or you can use the operators like or, and, not. And in fact, you can also apply the in between and the like commands. Moving ahead with in the slide, I'll say that few things which scholar or a student or a person who is working in the corporate or in the academics, they have to deal with some kind of a aggregate commands in which you can say that you can group your data, you can find out values by using the commands such as sum, count, and group by clause needs to have a having command. So if you want to, just a simple example to explain when we can use the aggregate command, if you just want to count a male and a female customer, or if you want to find out the total revenue generated by the customer, like let's say for the in the particular age group, just for an example, less than 25 years of age, who falls under this category, the customers who falls under this particular category. Moving ahead, these are some basic functions which I talked about. The advanced concept which we will be dealing in this particular MDP will be of joins. As you can see in this particular slide, we have inner join, left join, right join, full join, cross join. So we can have an overview of the data from the multiple tables and how we can join them by using these particular functions. After that, we will be discussing the subqueries. Subqueries, which is query within the query. And also we will be dealing with views and index, which are mainly used to enhance the performance tool for a database. Moving ahead, we have functions in the string context also. So as you must be using in Excel, concatenate function, trim function, uppercase, lowercase. So these functions can also be used in SQL, and you can view yourself that how by just writing two commands, two simple queries, you can get all the details in one go. Moving ahead, we have, along with string function, we have mathematical functions as well. So mathematical functions, basically how we can generate random numbers, how we can find the ceiling floor, how we can round off the number, or I can put the decimals. So these all are covered in this particular mathematical function. Moving ahead, we will also discuss few data type functions like how we can have current date and time, difference between two dates. These will be covered in the date and time function. And in the end, we will be discussing some pattern matching concepts which are more likely being used with the string function. So it will cover like, similar to, regular expressions, we will be using it. So after explaining that what all will be covered in this particular MDP, or what kind of a fundamental commands we will be using in SQL, I first want to make it clear through the caselet that how we are using SQL for the data analytics. So in this particular slide, if you can read this slide. So in this, you consider yourself as John, and put yourself in the shoes of a data analyst, that how the data related profiles come with a different name, such as business analyst, business researcher, business insight head. So in this particular case, you are a business insight head for a company known as eCart. And the business of this eCart company is that it is selling products online. So your job is to provide relevant information about the data. And you have all the access to the data that the company is having to find out the useful information. So when you are at such position that you are a insight head for a particular company, so you will be dealing with n number of teams in the organization. That can be a sales and marketing team, that can be a finance team, that can be a operations team. So all will be interacting with the data analyst, with the insight head, along with their issues, and how this particular kind of a data can resolve the issue they are facing in their particular department. So moving ahead in this slide, after understanding that you are the insight head and you have to answer the queries which a particular department is raising, I'm moving ahead the slide. So first mail you receive from a marketing manager. Her name is Lisa, and she is planning to start a fresh new campaign which is trying to finalize the marketing campaign. So she has several options, as you all aware about nowadays, that if she chooses social media, she will be primarily focusing on the younger age group, whereas if she chooses newspaper, she will be focusing on aged category. So she decides to figure out the profile of the customers of the e-card company in different regions. So if there is a particular category of the customer who is more prevalent in the particular region, she will use the corresponding channel to target that particular segment of the customer. So therefore, she is asking to the business insight head, John, to provide number of customers who belong to the below 3 categories, and in all the 4 regions. So the categories are less than 36 years, between 36 to 54 years, above 54 years. So moving ahead in this case study, first thing you must have noticed that we are talking about age. So age is an integer. It has a data type of integer. And from all the 4 regions, that is Central, East, West, and South region. This is the first mail you have received from a marketing manager. The second mail is from the supply chain manager. His name is Sam. And his job is to maintain the inventory of all the products, at the same time saving the warehouse cost. So now the supply chain manager is facing a problem that in warehouse in the south region is full, even overutilized. So whereas the warehouse of east region has lot of space, so he needs to take action quickly. And what he need is that he wants to order a high selling product in east region and return back the low selling product in the south region because of the warehouse constraint. So what he is asking from the insight head John, that you provide me top 5 selling products in the east region and top 5 non-selling products in the south region. After understanding the problem of the supply chain or the operations department, we are moving ahead with the problem facing by finance manager. His name is Tim. So his job is to ensure that the revenue is maintained or increased while containing expenditure. And he just realized that lot of revenue is let go due to the discount coupons given to the customer. So he is asking two things from you, from the insight head John, that he wants to know total revenue loss due to discount till date, and second, he wants to find out which product have high discount redemption compared to the revenue generated. So once he identified such products with the ratio of discount is more than the revenue they generate for such products, he will either change price or discontinue discount coupon or discontinue the product. So after understanding that these three are the problems which these three departments are facing, they have put their problems, they have provided the sufficient data required for this problem. So in the starting, before starting the case study, I said that consider yourself as an analyst, as a researcher. So the first thing analysts should know is database, that what is database, what kind of a data stored in that. So in this particular slide, if you focus that we have three tables, that is customer table, right? In customer table, in which each customer is assigned as a unique ID. So against this ID, customer have other details as well, like name, age, city, state, address. So these are being stored in the customer table. Second is the product table. So in the product table, you must be having, the supply chain team must have maintained the list of all the products, like name, category, subcategory of all the products. And each product is also assigned a unique ID. And the third table, if you can focus upon, is sales table. So sales table also include all the transactions, like product ID of being sold, customer ID, customer who is buying that particular product, and other details as well, like order ID, ship date, selling price, and discount, right? So these are the three tables which you have, and I have talked about the unique ID. So customer must be having a unique ID as customer ID, product having a unique ID as product ID, and sales table having a unique ID as sales ID. I'll explain you why I'm talking about the unique ID in my further slide. What do you understand by unique ID? Just to give you an overview, we have many platforms for SQL. We have Microsoft tool, which is a MS Access, which has already been there. If you have a Microsoft software, you can write your SQL queries on that. You have you can download MySQL, you can download Workbench, you can download, in fact, SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio for running a SQL query. This particular query I have run on PostgreSQL. And there are three queries written in that. This is the interface looks like the script page. Then the left side, you can see the browser window where we can see the master files and the log files. So master file is the file which is a backup file, and log file is the file which has been temporarily been made. So here is the output, the data output which we have. So in this, I have taken the data set of Supermart database. And in this, we have the tables like customer, product, and sale. So first query which I have written is select asterisk from customer. So and it ends with a semicolon. So what I'm trying to say that from the customer table, I want to print all the columns which are available in the customer table. So as you can see in the data output window, which I am reflecting through my cursor, customer ID, customer name, segment, age, country, city, state, address. These are the columns which are available in the customer table. Moving ahead, if we select the second query, which is I want all the columns from the product table. So it is reflecting 4 columns, which are consisting of product ID, category, subcategory, and product name. Moving ahead, the third query, which is sales column, sales table, and all the columns from the sales table. So I have order line, order ID, order date, ship date, and so on. But to focus more upon is that we have order ID from the sales table, we have customer ID from the customer table, and product ID from the product table. So I have specifically talked about the unique ID. So every table should have a unique ID. Why it is required, I'm answering in the next slide. So after understanding that how we can get all the columns from our data, how we write a query, the first question which the marketing manager was facing is that she wanted to find the number of customer who belong to the below 3 categories in all the 4 regions. That is less than 36 years, between 36 to 54 years, and above 54 years. To answer this query, we have written this syntax. That is, I want to select the region and where these 3 are the conditions. First is if the customer's age is greater than 54, then the category should reflect 3. If the customer age is less than 36, then the category should reflect 1, else category 2. And we are counting those customer as well, how many customers falls under category 3, how many customers falls under category 1, and how many customers falls under category 2. So we have used the function count, and then I am grouping it by region and age group. So as you can see, I have mentioned one more command, that is order by region and count descending. So what it is reflecting, it is showing me first the region column, then the age group, and then the count. It is reflecting, right, that how many people customer fall under category 3, category 2, and category 1. So in this through this particular query, the marketing manager can now choose the appropriate channel in the south region, that she wants to focus more on the customer who have more than 56 years of age. So in all the other 3 regions, marketing manager can go ahead to the common marketing channel. Her focus should be more on the age group 56, those who are having more than 56 years of age. Let's move ahead and answer the second query, that is a supply chain manager. So the supply chain manager has to query 2 queries. That is, he wanted top 5 selling products in the east region, and he wanted 5 least selling product in the south region. So coming back with the query again, we have this particular query in which we are reflecting the product ID along with the product name and the total quantity sold. So you can see with this particular lines, just by writing 8 to 9 lines, you are getting the top 5 selling products in the east region, right? And there in this particular query, we have used functions like left join, which I have said that I will explain you how we use joins. And also we have used order by. So sorting and filtering also been done in this. That is why we are getting the top 5 selling products in this particular table. Moving ahead, the second thing was to tell top 5 non-selling products in the south region. So these are the top 5 non-selling products which a supply chain manager should focus upon. So the operation manager can now run that what are the least selling product and these 5 products with minimum sales, and recall these products to make some space in the south region. So now let's answer the query which is by the finance manager. That is, first was total revenue loss due to discount, and second was total revenue and discount for each product. So the first we have find out that how many, as you can see in this data output, we have given the discount 3,22,000 units total revenue loss because of the discount given. And now we have to find out that how many sales of the each product in the revenue column and the discount given for each product in the given table and the ratio of these two that I have segregated to the descending order of the ratio column, which means for product 1 we have given 4 times discount then the revenue it is generated, and finance manager needs to study these products and decide either to increase the price or discontinue the discount coupon. So I'll explain these queries which we can write. So in this particular slide, the first thing which matters is that how you are creating a table or how you are creating a database. So in order to create a table, this is the syntax. You have to mention the table name given in the quotes. Then you have to mention the columns. And as you can see, along with column, we have to mention data type, whether it is an integer, whether it is a varchar, float, what kind of a data type it is. And in the square bracket, there is a column 1 constraint. That is, the square bracket means it is optional. You can mention the constraints, which is coming up in the next slide. Again, you have to mention the second column in your table, the data type and the constraint if you want to put it, and so on. So, and one more thing which is important is that always end your query with a semicolon. This shows that you are ending the query, and after this it will run and give you the output, required output. So when we talk about the constraint which are optional, the first constraint is not null constraint, that the particular column cannot have null value. Second is default constraint, which means that you can specify the any value where you want to store the default value if any input value is missing for that particular column. Then we have unique constraint, which means that particular cell should have unique value in that particular cell. And next one is check constraint. You can specify certain criteria against which data input will be checked. So when I was explaining you about the primary key and the foreign key, that a table should have a unique ID. So primary key basically means that a table must have a unique ID, which signifies that, for example, just a simple example, if I want to show my identity proof, I'll show the Aadhaar card, I'll show the passport number, I'll show the driving license, because it will not be a repetitive, it will not be a duplicate. I will be allotted with my unique Aadhaar ID, with my, and for example, bank account number as well, that can be counted as a primary key. The second thing which you are seeing in this particular slide is foreign key constraint. So foreign key constraint is used to ensure the referential integrity of the data. Referential integrity can be understood with the features of the primary and foreign key. So the primary key, as I explained, that it should be uniquely identifying each row in the table, and it can consist of one or more columns on a table. Multiple columns, when be used as a primary key, they are known as composite keys. They are no longer used as primary key. And when it comes to foreign key, so you can, just to make you understand easily, it is just a reference of the column of another table, and the purpose is to ensure referential integrity. So in this example, if you can correlate whatever I am trying to explain you with respect to primary key and foreign key, in the customer table you have columns like customer ID, last name, first name. And here in the characteristics, it has mentioned that the customer ID is the primary key. Now, why we have chosen customer ID as the primary key? Because we have many customers or many people who have same name, same surname. So it cannot be counted as the unique ID. But every customer will be having an individual and a unique customer ID. That is why it is known as primary key. Again, in the order table, you can see the column names like order ID, order date, customer ID. We have taken from the customer table because it is a foreign key here, and amount. So or in the order table, the primary key is order ID again, because every order must have been given a particular unique order ID. Now let's discuss more about foreign key and understand that what is the features of foreign key. So customer ID is the foreign key because this column will have values which are already available only in the customer ID column of the customer table. So the foreign key column related to the primary key of the customer table, and it is restricting values in this column while the superset of the values in the customer ID of the customer table. So if you can imagine values of order table, there will be several orders which will have same customer ID. And if same customer ordering same product, for that order customer ID will be the same. So primary key of the order will be unique, but foreign key will be having a duplicate value because it is also coming in the customer table. Then we have secondly, if you want to find out the first name and last name of the particular column with particular order ID, that can also be done with the help of the foreign key. So after explaining that what is the syntax of create table and how we segregate the constraints, that these constraints are optional, you can use as per your requirement, as per your query raised, and you should always be allotting primary key to every table and foreign key just to ensure the referential integrity of the data. We are moving ahead that how we create a table and how it reflects in the SQL platform. So we simple the syntax we are using, create table, and my table name is customer underscore table. I have opened a as you can see, a round bracket, and in this we have columns like customer ID, and as I have mentioned that along with the column name you should always mention data type. What is the data type of this column? So first name is varchar, last name is varchar, age is integer, email ID is varchar. So customer ID is the data type is integer, first name is variable character, last name is variable character we are using, age is integer, and email ID is variable character. So it has written here, you will get a message. If there is no error in your syntax, then it will come as that your query returned successfully in 172 milliseconds. And just to reflect you how it will show in your browser window, it will show customer table and it has 5 columns like customer ID, first name, last name, age, email ID. Okay. After creating a table, we are talking more about how we can create a database. I have named the database as TestDB. So this is the name of my database. A database will be created. Under that, a table can be created, and under table we can have n number of columns which we require. So we have created one more, I have added one more example with the name, table name is tutorials underscore table, TBL. Here the column name is tutorial ID. I have mentioned the data type, that is integer, and I have used the constraint as not null. That means that my particular column cannot have a null value. And here, if you can see, I have used auto increment. So what does auto increment is reflecting? That my if the user want to create, tells that if I can go ahead and add the next available number to the ID field. Okay, then if you can see that again I have used for tutorial title also I cannot have a null value, again tutorial author also I cannot have a null value, and I have mentioned the data types, variable character, and I have mentioned the limit also, how much text I can have. Then we have submission date, and I have used the data type as date, and in the last I have allotted a primary key. So primary key basically is that it is defining a column as primary key, and I can use multiple columns. You can use multiple columns separated by comma to define a primary key, unique key. Moving ahead, how we can insert the tables, basically how we can insert values in the table. So we can use the syntax as insert and whatever the table name. So in the previous example we have tutorials underscore table was my table name. I will mention here, and I will mention the fields and then the value, whatever value I want to give to them. Moving ahead, whatever I want to print, I will be using the select command. Select command will always become under the data query language SQL command, that whatever fields I want to select from what table and where condition, what condition I want to put. And here, if you can see two more commands, that is offset and limit. So what does offset means? What is the function of offset means? That we can fetch we can specify that from where the select will start returning the records. By default, it starts with by default, the offset starts at 0. And limit means that you can return the number of using the limit attribute. So basically, if I mentioned limit 5, limit 3, so when we were doing the case study, we have mentioned limit 5, that we want particular non-selling products in South region, so limit it to 5, right? So after understanding the syntax like insert, select, so where clause, that what where clause is equally important. Why? Because that where condition is with the operators and or, and what condition to reflect the output of the query. Moving ahead, we have few update, alter, and delete SQL commands as well to manipulate our data. So as you can see in this particular slide, the update table name, whatever table you want to update, then you have to use this particular SQL command set. Set means that where I want to set, where I want to update, which column I want to update in my particular table, and the condition you have to mention. So for just to give you more brief about update, you can update one or more field altogether, and you can specify any condition using the where clause, and you can update the value in a single table at a time, right? In this particular slide, you must be looking at the delete command also. So delete command is basically, if the where clause is not specified, then all the records will be deleted, right? And if you are using a where clause, you have to specify a particular condition that this particular column is meeting this condition, then please delete. And you can delete the records in a single table at a time. Another command which I have put in this particular slide is alter and drop command. So if you want to drop any existing column in from the table, you will be using the drop clause along with the alter command. So this is the way to write in the syntax. You have to mention the table name, and you have to drop whatever whatever column you want to drop. You have to mention that particular column. Moving ahead, we have always we want a clean data, a processed data. For that, we will be using some filtering commands. Those are in, between, like. So first example is talking about the like condition, when we will be using the like condition. So you have to specify any condition using the where clause, and you can use the like clause along with the where clause. And like clause, instead of writing like clause, you can also write equal to sign. So that is equivalent to like clause. If you are using a percentage sign, then it will work as a meta character search, that you want to search a particular, you are searching for a particular pattern in your table. You can specify more than one condition by using operators like and, or, and where like clause can be used along with delete and update command as well. So you can manipulate your data and you can sort your data simultaneously. Another example is, another syntax is for in command, right? So in this particular syntax, if you focus more upon, up till now, I think everybody understood that there is a format to write in the SQL command. We are using select, we are using from, we are using where. Basically what from is doing, it is searching that particular table. I want to meet these conditions and I want to print these columns. So moving ahead with the in part, in operator is basically specifying a multiple values in a where clause. That in operator is just a shorthand for the or condition, like these values should be there in my table, then only a output should be provided. Moving ahead with this filtering command, there is one more command as between. So what between is doing, between is basically searching for a values which falls under let's say I when we get marks, so if I'll search for between 80 and 100, or if I want to select for a particular age group between 25 to 35, so what between 25 and 35, so what it will do, it will give me an output from 26 to 34, and it will not include 25 and 35. So this is the function of between command. Moving ahead with the ordering command, there is two syntax. One is order by and second one is limit. So what order by is doing, what is a function of order by, that you are sorting your result. that if the field is being listed out, so I can sort according to in ascending and descending order. By default, it takes as the ascending order. And by using the where like clause, we can put any condition and we can order by our functions, order by our commands. What limit is doing, it is retrieving the records from one or more table in a database and limit the number of records returned based on a limit value. Like in this particular syntax, we are mentioning limit 3. If you will mention limit 5, whatever your query is, you can mention that particular number, that from a customer table, print all the columns and the limit should be 3. Moving ahead, we have aggregate commands. Aggregate commands such as minimum, maximum. So minimum, whenever you want to find out any minimum, for example, minimum salary of an employee, maximum salary of an employee, minimum amount in your bank account or maximum amount in your bank account, you can use these particular syntax, that from a particular table, I want to meet, where if these conditions are meet, kindly find out the minimum of this particular column. Similarly for maximum. Moving ahead, we have count column as well, which we have used in our case study as well, that I am counting the number of customers who falls under the particular age category, whether they are less than 36 or more than 54 or other conditions if they are. Then the average, again, AVJ is the SQL command which will be using to average that particular column. If you want to find out the average of the marks of the student and so on. Last aggregate command function is sum. If you want to sum of the sales or some of the targets met by the customer, met by the employees. So these commands can be used to find out, to provide the answer to the queries. The most important clause which are being asked in many interviews as well is the group by. The group by command is the most important and very easily be used and give many answers to the queries. So the group by statement groups the rows that have same values into summary rows. Like if you want to find out the number of customers in each country. So the group by statement we often use to with the aggregate function. So aggregate function in the previous slide, as you have seen, count, min, max, sum, average. So to group the result set of one or more columns. Then we have, after understanding the group by clause, we have having clause. So as you can see, I have used group by also, I have used having and order by. Order by, if I am not mentioning anything, so it will be by default ascending order. So the having clause, because the where keyword cannot be used with the aggregate function, that is why we are using having clause. Moving ahead, we have joins. So after group by, the important thing or important part comes in SQL is join. And I have mentioned 5 joins: inner join, outer join, left join, right join, full join, and cross join. There is one self join as well. I have put the syntax also. So join, if you want to understand join, think about the Venn diagram. You must have studied in your school. So if I am writing this particular command, that I selecting the particular column from table 1. So here we should have 2 tables. Then only we can join those 2 tables. So when I was discussing about join, I said that you can get the data from multiple tables. So I have 2 tables. I am joining these 2 tables with the function as inner join. And there is whatever is highlighting in blue, these are the SQL commands. So on table 1, and I have to mention the column name from which I want to inner join, and table 2 from the and mention the column name. So what is the function of inner join? To explain you in a easier language, it is selecting all the rows from both the table 1 and table 2, as long as there is a match between the columns. So I have mentioned the column names, so they should be matching, then only they will be combining these 2 tables. Moving with the left join. So left join is basically, what is the function of left join? That it is returning all the records from the left table, like table 1, and matching the records from the right table 2. So the result is 0 if there is no matching in the records. Agar match hai, to they will definitely get all the columns from the particular table. Similarly, just like left join, we have right join, and right join function is that you are joining 2 table and fetching the row based on the condition. So if it is matching in both the tables, then you will be getting the output. Otherwise, the unmatched rows which are also available from the table, they will be written after the join clause. So लेफ्ट जॉइन में जैसे लेफ्ट अगर मैच करता है, राइट जॉइन में सिमिलरली अगर मैचिंग है दोनों टेबल्स में, दे विल गेट द आउटपुट. After discussing the inner left and right join, we have full auto join. Full auto join, basically what full outer join function is, that it is combining the result of both left and right outer join and return all rows from the tables on both sides of the join clause. One more syntax I have written. This syntax is related to self join. So self join is as it is a English language word, the table is joined within itself, that it is combining the data of within the table. So as such, up till now whatever we have discussed, you must have been understanding that these are very basic English language terms which you are using: select, from, where, group by, having, order by, joins. These are very basic English language. It is just like the syntax and the data type you have to mention. What you want to fetch, where you want to fetch, and what should be the outcome. You should be aware about that. Next topic is subquery, which I have told you that it is a query within the query. So here in the syntax, if you can focus upon, this particular is the inner query. If the inner query meets the criteria, then only I can get the outcome which I am mentioning in my outer query. So subquery is basically what subquery is dealing with, that it is enclosed within the parenthesis, and a subquery can have only one column in the select clause unless multiple columns are in the main query for the subquery. Order by cannot be used in a subquery. These are the constraints. Order by cannot be used in a subquery, and the group by can be used to perform the same function. Because we cannot use order by, so we will be using group by in the subquery. Subquery that return more than one row can only be used with multiple value operators, just like in operator you can use. Subquery cannot be immediately enclosed in a set function. So if inner query is meeting the criteria, then only I will get the output of the outer query. And between operator cannot be used with the subquery. You can use in, you can use group by, but you cannot use order by and between operators in the subquery. Next topic, which is, and the last topic for today's MDP, after that I will be dealing with the queries if we have. So views and index. When we talk about view, in this particular slide, first we will talk about index. So when we hear about index is just like that you are creating an index in the table. So index is what is the function of index? That you are retrieving your data from the database for a quicker process. Like if we search for any particular chapter in a book, we first see for the index, that on what page this particular chapter is. So similarly, index is doing the same thing. The user cannot see the index. They are just used to speed up the searches or the queries. So if we if we create a unique index on the table, that means that you cannot have a duplicate value. So the only difference between unique index and index is that in this you cannot have a duplicate value. Drop index means that if you want to delete particular index which you have created. Next is view. So in this particular slide, if you focus upon, I have mentioned that create view, you have to name the view which you have created. View in the sense that I want a particular trigger. I want to create a particular view of my database. And I am giving the table name also from where I want to view that particular view name, and condition, whether it is selecting a particular rows or not. Drop again, that I want to delete that particular view. So you have to mention the name of the view which you want to delete, and you can replace as well, you can update as well, you can use those commands, those SQL commands as per your requirement. So after discussing all these points, what more I want to share with all of you who are there as a participant, that if you are a scholar and if you want to use a SQL platform, so what it will be a benefit for you, that if you have n number of variables or n number of data, it will not be first of all, it is freely available and you don't have to pay for it. Secondly, it will generate your queries in few milliseconds, which I have shown you that in milliseconds you can get the output of your query. For students or for people who want to make their career in a business analyst or in a data analyst, for them the SQL is the beginning point. And if after understanding SQL, they can go for NoSQL, they can go for MongoDB, they can go for PostgreSQL. So there are various domains open for SQL for people who want to make their career in SQL. For academics point of view, we should always be evolving our knowledge, evolving with technology, because in the starting I talked about that it is not a no more languages are constrained to the programmer or a developer. The everybody can analyze, everybody can make the use of the programming language. So in case if anybody is having any query, or in case if anybody is wanting me to discuss any point, they can let me know. So I have mentioned my email address. If anybody wants to interact or ask the SQL related query, or if they want to ask any other query with respect to their field in SQL, and I can be of any help in SQL, they can drop me an email. I have mentioned my email on the slide. Over to you, Vandana ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, for making our participants conversant with the SQL and its applications in such a lucid way. It was undoubtedly a wonderful session on SQL and data analytics, and your intellectual inputs have definitely enriched our participants. Thank you so much. Now we are sharing the link for feedback link for today's session. All the participants are actually required to fill up that link so that we can share your email e-certificates. So please fill in this link shared in the chat box.
So one of the participant is asking that which is the easy programming language we can start. Because we are expert in Excel, I have heard that Python is easy. So just to give you this answer to the query, actually, I understand that if you have a good command on Excel, you can learn any programming language. So Python, if you have some background of Java, then Python will be easy for you. But for the students who don't have a command on Java, I suggest that they can go for SQL, they can go for Power BI, they can go for Tableau. These platforms are also available to get a more hands-on on the analyst part.
So no more questions now. Now, let me announce that we will be conducting our next MDP on 8th of January on strategizing and managing brand by Dr. Preeti Gulati. That will be on 8th of January. Thank you all. Looking forward to see you on 8th of January again. Thank you so much for participating in today's MDP.
Thank you, Dr. Parikh ma'am, and thank you once again, Lloyd Business School, for conducting such MDPs. And I hope we will be getting more participants in for the strategizing and managing brand MDP as well.